Welcome in, young lass. What can I do for you? Anything you need, I'll have it here, or I can smith it up for you.
The dwarven smith put down the rough blade that he'd been sharpening and moved to get a better view of the newcomer to his forge. She wore a simple top and a skirt that hung loosely from her slender body. The tabaxi looked down to Brammer and gave a flirtatious smile.
Anything you say? So maybe something a little more than weapons and armour?
Ha! Well, anything as weapons and armour and tools go. Otherwise, I have to answer to the wife.
We wouldn't want you to get into trouble with your wife now, would we? Where do you keep your daggers and knives?
Ah, far corner over there. Most folks tend to eye up the bigger, more intimidating weapons. Daggers are underappreciated more often than not.
Strings moved over to the far side of the forge where she could see a slightly worn display case with several daggers inside. She had taken care not to be seen before now, so was confident that no one would recognise her from her nighttime activities. Still, she didn't intend to be out for longer than necessary, just in case.
Those are my regular stock, from a simple sharp bit of metal to a more decorative piece. Each one is razor sharp and will slice through a bit of pork belly like it were butter. I also have some magical stock in the back if you're interested in spending a wee bit more coin there.
Well, now you've got my attention. If I was to spend more of my hard-earned money, what would it get me?
Let's see. I have a moon-touch dagger that can emit moonlight, or a dagger of warning that, well, you can, warns you when danger is close.
As Brammer continued to list his magical wares, String's eyes began to wander across the items displayed on the wall. Swords, spears, axes, wanted posters. She paused and cursed under her breath as she saw herself. Wanted, Tabaxi Night Thief, reward 1,000 gold pieces. There couldn't be that many Tabaxi in Karnag.
For more subtle folk, the transforming dagger can hide as a ring. You okay there, lass? You look like you've just seen the ghost of a mad mage of old.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sorry. The transforming dagger. Could you tell me more about it?
Good choice there. The dagger is magically honed for a better cutting edge. It can transform into a golden ring to be kept hidden. Perfect for wee ladies looking for a subtle weapon for self-defense.
That sounds like a fine option. I'll take it and a regular service dagger.
Before you disappear, Brammer, could you pick up my short sword from the back?
A slender, jet-black Tabaxi stepped up beside Strings. The new Tabaxi wore a dark green cloak with a bow on his back and stood several inches taller than Strings with a grin that suggested mischief.
I hope I'm not intruding on you. Or do I need to tell your wife about anything, Brammer?
Likes you trust you of all people to not be stern, you lanky giant bastard. Aye, I can collect your sword. At the same time, give me a few minutes, would you?
Brammer turned away from the two of them and disappeared into the back of his forge. Strings was left to look at the newcomer, who started to look around at some of the other weapons that were on display.
So did you enjoy hanging out in that web the other night?
Excuse me? I don't know what you're referring to.
Looping looked over from the great axe that he'd been inspecting, still grinning as he gave Strings an amused look.
Don't worry, I'm not going to sell you out, and Brammer won't hear anything over the rummaging in the back. Delmore was a little sour about you giving him the runaround, so leaving you hanging in the web was his little way of getting some payback.
Well, if we're being open about it, no, I didn't. Do you have any idea how boring it is being stuck there for an hour?
Nope. I've never been caught.
Never? Well, that's interesting. It suggests you've been in situations where being caught was a possibility.
Looping feigned a look of innocence.
Let's just say the city guards get a little upset when they find inked paw prints on their backs during guard duty.
Looks like I'm not the only troublemaker then. Do I get to learn your name, or are you another mystery man like your friend?
Looping Coil, Tabaxi Ranger of the Oaken Shields. The fellow who left you hanging around the other night was Delmore Firth. He's, well, complicated. Simply put, he's a lone wanderer who protects folks who are less well off than others.
Did he tell you why he let me go?
For the first time, Lupin's grin finally faded as he became more serious. The two tabaxi looked each other in the eyes as they tried to gauge each other's characters beyond their light-hearted banter.
No, he didn't. Whatever the reason was, it must have been good. Delmore doesn't usually let folks go. He firmly believes in protecting those less fortunate. It's because he's asked me to leave you alone that I'm not looking to stop you myself. I trust his judgment, so you don't need to worry about me. For now, anyway. Fair warning, though. I'm not the only member of the guild that's seen that wanted poster. Some of them will start to come after you for the bounty soon, and not all of them will be as forgiving as Delmore.
Well, it was going to happen sooner or later.
Strings moved over to where Lupin was standing, getting close to him, running her finger across the top of his armour before placing her hand on his chest. She looked up to him, his face confused at the sudden intimacy.
Shame. I think you would have been a lot more fun to play with than Delma was. He was a little too stuck up to have any fun. I appreciate the warning, though. Sounds like I've still got some fun ahead of me.
Well, yeah, that's one way of putting it.
I'm back with your gear. Am I interrupting something here?
The dwarf returned from the back room carrying a couple of sheathed daggers and an elven short sword. His eyebrows raised as he saw how close the two tabaxi were to each other. Strings quickly stepped away, pulling a bag of coins from thin air and presenting it to the dwarf.
Nothing of importance. I believe this will cover the daggers. You can keep the change. Consider it a thank you for the magical dagger.
Strings handed over the bag of coins with an impish smile, sparing a glance at Lupin as the dwarf checked the contents.
Orden's beard! That's very kind of you, lass. You're welcome back here any time.
I'll keep that in mind.
Strings turned to leave the forge, winking at Lupin as she passed him. Lupin's grin returned as he waved her off.
Found yourself a new friend there, Lupin?
I have no idea. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, I should probably pay you myself.
Lupin paused as he touched his belt, his hip noticeably lighter, tucked his head under his cloak to confirm what he already knew.
Are you kidding me? Well played, Springs. Hey, Brammer, how do you feel about an IOU? Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. Don't forget to check out my character videos, which give more details on the characters in this series. If you want to support these videos, then head over to my Ko-Fi, linked below.